Hey guys, Philos here. This is going to be a short video just covering the new top tier gems for the Demon Hunter in patch 2.1.2. So, first thing I want to start with is the Enforcer. This gem used to be very popular and one of the top tier gems, but with the shift in the damage from the sentries to the Demon Hunters, this gem lost basically half of its value. Before, your sentries were doing basically all of your damage, so you're getting 100% value. Now the sentries and your pets are only doing half of your damage, so the value of the gem was cut in half right there. So there are going to be other gems that are now better than this one. That, combined with the way that damage modifiers stack, this is just one of the weaker damage modifier gems now for the Demon Hunter. So now that that's out of the way, we're going to talk about the good gems. The main one is the Bane of the Trap. This is a debuff on the monsters, so you get the full value out of the damage modifier, and you get a nice little bubble that slows monsters down. That's going to be useful for helping you kite monsters when they get near you. They get slowed and gives you time to move away. So that's nice. And then we have the Zay's Stone of Vengeance. With the range of the cluster arrow, you're going to get really good value out of this. So you gain damage based on the distance that the sentry is from the target, and the damage is calculated on the fraction of the yard and is based on individual monsters. So you're basically always getting some value out of the gem, even with like multi-shot on your sentries. You know, the range isn't that far, you're still getting value from the Zay's Stone of Vengeance. And again, it has to do with the way that the damage modifiers are all calculated. This is a strong modifier. And then we have the Taeguk with the changes to the sentry's damage, and you're doing more of the damage, and even things like the rift damage that the monsters do is reduced, so the value of the armor is going to be better. You get stacks, so your damage increases as you spend. Really good value on that one. The only kind of catch with this one is that the buff only lasts for 3 seconds. You have to constantly spend at least once every 3 seconds. And if you lose the stacks, you have to start all over getting them back. Next one is the Bane of the Powerful. This is going to be really good, especially on T6, but even in greater rifts, if you're not comfortable keeping the Taeguk stacks, then you're going to prefer the Bane of the Powerful. You do have to kill the elite before you get the full value, but again, it's going to be better than the Enforcer with the shift of the damage. So these four are going to be the top gems that you're going to run most of the time, whether you're doing greater rifts or T6, and depending on the build, those are going to be the ones. Other gems that are really useful are going to be the Gogok. Obviously, this one is always going to be useful in terms of the cooldown reduction. If you need to reach certain cooldown reduction breakpoints, or if you just want to maximize cooldown reduction for a build, you're going to want to take advantage of this gem just to get the maximum amount of cooldown reduction. Next we have the Fascias Toxin, a debuff on the monsters. So all enemies that you poison, the gem poisons for you, so all enemies affected by the gem are going to increase damage taken by 10% from all sources. And again, this is one of the stronger kind of modifiers, and you're going to get the full value for the whole group. So 10% damage to the whole group is actually better than the Enforcer. So the Toxin is actually stronger than the Enforcer now, as well as all of these other gems. And then the other gems worth mentioning are going to be the Boon of the Hoarder. If you need gold, if you're on hardcore T6, you might want to use this combined with gold wrap or whatever for survivability. The Boon of the Hoarder is always going to be useful to get gold. And then the Wreath of Lightning here. This one's nice for speed farm T6. It gives you a little movement speed when you have the little buff, and the buff does damage. If you're at the point to where you have plenty of damage to speed farm T6, movement speed is the only thing, you know, reducing your clear speed. So getting that additional movement speed through a gem can be useful. There aren't really any gems that are going to increase your movement speed. In Season 2 there will be 2 new gems, but they're not particularly useful for the Demon Hunter. They are defensive gems and only really good for hardcore Demon Hunter, if at all. So that'll do it. thank you guys for watching. Hope that helps. See you next time.